Today I'm going to show you how I make pumpkin pasta. And before you cringe, I promise this tastes nothing like pumpkin spice. It's actually quite savory and tastes a little bit like mac and cheese. You'll need 15 ounces of pumpkin, 1 pound ground pork, 2 teaspoons oregano, 1/2 teaspoon red pepper flake, 1 onion diced, 3 cloves of garlic minced, 1 3/4 cup milk, 8 ounces cream cheese, 1 pound pasta, 1 1/2 cups breadcrumbs, 4 tablespoons of butter melted, and 1 1/2 cups of Parmesan cheese. First, you'll want to brown your sausage. I like to use a Dutch oven for this because I feel like the browning process and then all the bits after the browning process add a lot of flavor into the dish. This took about 10 minutes or so. Then I went ahead and boiled my noodles, and you'll want them to be al dente, meaning not all the way done, a little bit of bite to them. And this is because you'll be baking this a little bit later, so you don't want to cook them all the way done. Once the pasta is done cooking, go ahead and drain it and set it aside. Remove your sausage from the pot once it's done browning and add in your onions. You'll be caramelizing the onions, so it will take a few minutes to do that, and you just want to stir them frequently so that they don't actually brown. They're just going to start to kind of turn a brownish color, but not crispy. So about 15 minutes later, here's what it looks like. Then you can add in your garlic and cook for about 1 more minute. Then you want to add in your milk, and I like to do this slowly. That way it doesn't, sizzle up on you or splatter at all because your pan is still pretty hot. Add in your cream cheese. I like to cut mine into just a few little cubes so that it melts a bit faster, and using the back of my spoon to stir and sort of press that cream cheese until it can melt. Then you can add in your pumpkin, and I'm actually using here just a winter squash. This isn't a pumpkin specifically, so really any winter squash can work for this one. This is actually a harvest moon squash, one that really preserves well and keeps long whole. But this was some that I had pureed up last year and had in my freezer, so using that up. Adding in your seasonings. So this is that salt, pepper. I use Korean red pepper flake because I feel like they're just a little sweeter and less spicy. And the oregano. And giving that a mix to combine it. Then once that's all melted in, go ahead and add your Parmesan. I like to add it about 1/2 at a time and then stirring it, letting it melt, and then adding the other half of the cheese. This helps make sure that it just melts fully and completely and doesn't clump up as much as if you just dump it all in at once. Then you can go ahead and add your sausage back into the sauce and give it a quick stir. Your sauce is now done and you're ready to add your pasta in. So just scoop that in and toss it with the sauce to cover all of the noodles. I like to use these spiral noodles because I feel like they hold on to the sauce really well and help that sausage get combined all throughout the pasta. Put this in a 9 by 13 greased baking dish and then preparing the topping. You'll take your melted butter and combine it with your breadcrumbs. And these are just breadcrumbs I made from leftover hamburger buns, hot dog buns, whatever leftover bread I had. I keep them in my freezer and I use them for things like this. Sprinkle that right over the top of the pasta dish and it's ready to bake. Bake this at 400 degrees for 25 minutes until those breadcrumbs brown up a little bit, and it is so good. My kids oftentimes think it's macaroni and cheese because it's got the cheese in it and it's kind of yellow, but truly it's got some pumpkin in there, and that really adds a little bit more nutrition as well. So if you're looking for something to use up some extra winter squash from your garden, this is a great one to try. I hope you enjoy. Bye.